Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into something we all do every single day, something that shapes, well, pretty much everything, decision making.
And we're not just talking about picking what's for dinner, though. Hey, sometimes that feels huge too, right?
Absolutely. We asked you for your best tips on making tough choices, the ones that really have an impact, and wow, did you deliver?
It's amazing actually how much people tend to rely on just like their gut feeling, even for big life stuff. So
Yeah.
getting a bit more structured about decisions, yeah, that can be game changing.
Music to my ears. So, first up from what you all sent in, gather information. Seems kind of obvious, but I have a feeling there's more to it.
Oh, way more. It's not just about like Googling something and calling it a day. It's about the kind of information you're gathering.
Okay, so quality over quantity.
More like quality and diversity. The real trick is dodging that bias trap. Are you really looking for different viewpoints or just stuff that backs up what you already think?
Oh, guilty as charged sometimes.
Ah,
It's like we're drawn to information that confirms what we already believe. It's human nature. But if you want to make a truly informed decision, you got to be open to different perspectives, even if they clash with your own.
so actively seek out those opposing views, even if it makes us a bit uncomfortable.
Exactly. Think about it this way. If you were going to read a book review, would you only read one, or would you check out several to get a more well-rounded perspective? Same goes for any big decision. Don't just settle for the first piece of information that confirms your existing bias.
Love that analogy. Okay, next up is a classic. The good old pros and cons list, but, upgraded. We've all made those lists, but how do we make sure they're actually helpful?
It's all about getting specific, like really digging into the potential outcomes of each choice.
Give me an example.
Sure, let's say you're thinking about, I don't know, learning a new language. Instead of just writing down pro sounds fun, get granular.
Like pro, being bilingual could open up travel opportunities or even boost my career prospect.
Exactly. You've gone from a vague idea to a tangible outcome. And that makes it way easier to weigh the pros and cons against each other.
Makes total sense. Speaking of getting a different perspective, the next tip from our listeners is all about involving others in the decision-making process.
Ah, yes. Because two or more heads are often better than one.
Right. But there's a real art to this, isn't there? Because just asking your best friend who always agrees with you, well, that's not going to be very helpful.
Definitely not. You don't want an echo chamber. The key is to seek out people with different opinions, different experiences. They can often spot things you might miss.
It's like having your own personal advisory board. So you're saying we shouldn't shy away from healthy debate.
Embrace it. It'll lead to much more well-rounded decisions.
All right, this next tip is interesting. Trusting your gut A&D being analytical. How do we balance those two? They seem kind of opposite.
It's about recognizing that both intuition and analysis have their place. Our gut feeling is often our subconscious picking up on patterns.
So like drawing on past experiences without even realizing it.
Exactly. And that can be super valuable. But we shouldn't let intuition be the only factor.
We've got to use our heads too. Check those good feelings against logic and analysis.
Right. Think of it as a gut check of your gut check. Does your intuition line up with the facts at hand?
This reminds me of the time I was about to buy a vintage guitar online, total impulse decision. But then I remembered this tip, took a step back, did some research, and found out it was actually a fake.
Yeah.
Intuition said, buy. Analysis saved the day.
And that's the perfect example of those two forces working together in harmony. Okay, ready for our final tip? It's a big one.
Hit me.
Learn from experience. All of it. The good, the bad, the, oh, why did I do that moments.
Oh, I've had a few of those. You're saying we shouldn't just brush them under the rug.
Nope. Those mistakes, those are valuable data points. Analyze what happened. Why did you make that choice? What was the outcome? And most importantly, what did you learn?
It's about constantly refining that decision-making process, becoming our own decision-making gurus. I love that. You've heard our deep dive on making decisions. Now it's your turn.
That's right. And remember, a perfect decision doesn't exist. What matters is being thoughtful, self-aware, and making choices that align with who you are and what you want.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Until next time.